Okay, we're going to learn King of Kings today. Remember that I'm left-handed, so mirror image me if you're right-handed. All right, so we start off with in the darkness, we were waiting without hope, without light. So you can leave out the word in and just do darkness. In the darkness, we, W, going around like this. A U would be for us. Okay, so that's we. We're waiting. This is a sign for waiting. Without hope and without light. So the without, you could literally do without hope and without light. Or you could do no hope, no light. So whichever way you choose to do it would be fine. Okay, till from heaven you came running, there was mercy in your eyes. I saw a lady do this in ASL on YouTube, and she did a much better job than me. And I don't understand exactly what she did, so I'm basically going to show you what I know. So, but you know, if it's always good to look for other videos as well and get other ideas, because there are different ways to interpret things, and mine is almost certainly not the best. Okay, so till from heaven. So this is until. If you want to use that, you can leave that out. This is from. You can leave that out too. And then we already have learned heaven. So heaven, you came running. So you can use the sign for running. I'm not sure that that's so appropriate here. You know, you could say from heaven, you came, you could just do you came down. There was mercy in your eyes. So you could literally do the sign for mercy and then do in your eyes, or you can just do mercy directed from heaven to you. And that could be the whole phrase. There was mercy in your eyes. So, from heaven you came, and there was mercy in your eyes. I think that's a pretty good way to do it. To fulfill the law and prophets. Okay, so for fulfill, you can literally use the sign for fill, or you could say complete. You completed or finished the law and prophets. This is probably what I would do, but this would also work. To fulfill the law is an L like this, from the top of the hand and the bottom of the hand. We've had that before. For prophets, you take a P. It looks kind of like a K, but it's meant to be a P for prophets. So you have this, and you have the prophet. It's kind of like looking, but with the P up there. So, and then make the person sign. So this is like prophecy, but when you have the person sign, that's prophets. So prophets. To a virgin came the word. From a throne of endless glory. So again, you have your from, the throne of endless or forever glory. To, you can leave out the word to a cradle. And this is, I'm going to use a sign for manger rather than the sign for cradle. Okay, because there really isn't a good sign for cradle that I'm aware of. So a manger in the dirt. So for the dirt, you can do like this, dirt, or what I saw the lady do on the video was, this is a sign for dirty, and she kind of did it twice. So like the cradle or the manger in the dirt. So you can do that way. This way would be fine too, to do dirt. Okay. The chorus is pretty easy, and we already know the signs for that. So praise the Father, praise the Son, praise Spirit, we've done this way. I know some people do it like that, but at our church we've been doing this. Spirit, 3 in 1. God of glory, majesty. And I saw the lady in the video do majesty like this, praising, exalting him like that. We've always done majesty like this. Praise forever to the King, and you can either spell of or just leave it. King of Kings. The lady in the video did it this way, King, and then she did of Kings that way. Well, she actually put her hand up here. It went out of screen, so I'm not sure what she did up there. I don't know if she spelled of or whatever. But she put it up there, and then she did the other Kings down here and kind of did that. So I usually just do King of Kings. All right, let's see how far we get. We have 15 minutes total. Okay, to reveal or to show the kingdom. So kingdom, and I've also seen king with a D over it rather than a flat hand. So kingdom, coming, and to reconcile. So the lost, and I would do lost people. Okay, so reconcile the lost people. To redeem the whole, that's all creation. You did not despise or hate and look mad when you despise something. Despise the cross. For even in your suffering, and you could say no matter, in your suffering, and the lady on the video that I saw did it twice like this, in your suffering, so you can do whatever you want to do. Might depend on how much time you have or how far behind you feel. Okay, you saw to the other side. No, we don't want to just sign the other side. Let's sign what that means, the other side. So basically we're talking about future heaven. So you can do future heaven like that. So you saw, future heaven. Okay. Knowing this was our salvation, knowing this, which you could leave that out. Our is the flat hand. It's just like we and us, except the flat hand is possessive, so that would be our. So knowing this was our salvation is the same word as saved. Jesus, for our sake you died. So we have Jesus. Now, for our sake, you could either do for us with the you, or you could do for our sins. Take your pick. You died. For us is faster, and so for a beginner it's probably easier to say for us, but you could say for our sins if you wanted. Okay, and then we have the chorus again, which we won't repeat right now. We'll see if we can get through everything without having to do a second learning video. And the morning that you rose, so and, which you can leave out if you want, and the morning that, I would leave that out, you rose, all of heaven held its breath till that stone was moved for good. So until that stone was moved, I'm rolling it away, moved. We don't want to say for good. This is good and this is bad, but that's really, it means permanently. It was moved permanently. And you can show that in two ways. I looked up the sign for permanent, which I've never used before, and it showed continue. I'm not sure I really like that in this song because the stone isn't being moved continuously. It is permanent, but you could say forever. I think that would be better. So, till that stone was moved forever. For the Lamb had conquered death. For the Lamb had conquered death. And the dead rose from their tombs. So you could say the dead rose from, either straight finger or X, take your pick, from their tombs. And the angels stood in awe. And then we have, for the souls of all who'd come, for the souls of all who'd come, or you can point up like going to the Father, because it's to the Father. So you could say, and the souls of all who go to the Father, I think that's probably better, are restored. And you could either do made new, or you can do this reconciled idea. I think that's the one I like better. You know, there's so many ways to interpret something, and so I'm only giving I'm trying to give a few alternatives, but I'm sure there are many alternatives that are possibly even better. Okay, and the Church of Christ was born. Then the Spirit, for lit the flame, will do started. This is started like you're starting this is like turning the key in the ignition. I wonder if it'll change the sign with people using fobs and just pushing a button. You know, I don't know what's going to happen to this sign. So started, where am I? Lit or started the flame. Now this gospel truth. So you can do the now this, or you can leave one or both of those off. I might do now without this. Now the gospel. So remember, this is new. It's also news. So the gospel is a G, and it's like news with a G. Okay, so the gospel. Truth, I do an H and go down the hand for truth. Of old, shall not kneel, shall not faint. For faint, I'm doing weak, where you take your hand and it's kind of like a spider who's falling. Weak. Your fingers are weak. The spider's legs are weak. Okay, shall not faint, not faint. By, you probably spell by, his, or leave it out, blood, and in, which you can leave out, his name. In his freedom I am free. So his freedom I am free. Let's see how we're doing here. For the love of Jesus Christ, who has resurrected me. Okay, and then we repeat the chorus, and then we do a final chorus at the end. So that's all the new words, and we made it in under 15 minutes. All right, next up will be practice to music.